I think I let certain people into my life knowing that they were toxic.
Life in the spotlight isn't as glamorous as teen mom Kail first thought. After all this time, she is finally starting to regret bringing her children into the spotlight with her. But what caused this change of heart, and what is she doing about it? You guys won't believe what Kail just revealed. It all started with a seemingly random TikTok video. Some eagle-eyed fans noticed something strange in the comments on that video. The TikTok had an unusual long duration of 2 minutes and was posted by TikToker Allison Kutch. During the video, Allison explained why she wouldn't show her future daughter on social media. She stated that even though she'd love to share just how cute her daughter is with everyone, she couldn't actually think of how all the attention would benefit her daughter. It was kind of nice to see a parent who uses social media as a career actually think of their child first. Too often, you see the opposite. Parents use their children to gain followers by exploiting them on social media. There are even whole channels on YouTube devoted to family vlogs that feature families with young children. Allison clearly knows how damaging social media exposure could be for her daughter, but what's surprising is that Kail commented on the TikTok video saying that she loved what Allison was doing. She continued to say that she regretted how much she had expressed her kids on social media. Part of her regret comes from hindsight. Kail mentioned that if she knew of the dangers between children and social media, she would have raised her children differently and far from her social media platforms. But has that really stopped her? Or was Kail just talking the talk to look like a good parent? A quick look at her Instagram shows that she still posts photos and reels of her children. Her youngest son, Rio, has been the latest subject. Now, I'm not saying you can't post pictures of your children on social media. It's an easy way to share photos with family members and friends, but there are things you can do to protect your children. Blurring faces or putting a sticker on their face is the very least of the things you can do to protect them. Kail doesn't even do that. She's just showing her children off without any concern for their safety on social media. Kail may say she regrets how much exposure she's given to her kids, but she sure isn't doing much to stop it, and that's likely due to the business she's in. As a reality star, Kail's family is naturally a part of the drama and entertainment. She became famous in the first place because of her time she spent on Teen Mom. Her fame was built around her being a young mother, so naturally her baby would face some level of exploitation too. But it's been a long time since those days. She has more control over how much the public sees her children, but she seems to think she still lives in a reality series, except she's the camera operator now. This isn't the first time Kail has lied or faked sincerity either. In an Instagram photo of her son Rio, who was lying on her pregnant stomach, Kail commented that it was difficult being a pregnant mother with a baby under 1. She laminated that she could not hold or carry him around as she'd prefer. The comment struck fans as weird and confusing because by the time the pic had been posted, she had already given birth to her twins. Fans called her for lying out, while others said she was just being her usual dramatic self. It seems that Kail doesn't like to be out of the spotlight for long. She has yet to share pictures of her twins, which is a point in her favor, but she's clearly still looking for attention. When the need for attention becomes too strong, she seemingly doesn't mind exploiting her children on social media. So does she really regret sharing her children on her social media platforms, or does she think it's fine if they're no longer babies? She has no shortage of subjects to exploit either. Kail is a mother of 7 children. Her oldest is Isaac, who she had with Joe Rivera. Most fans remember Isaac and Joe as they were on the 2nd season of Teen Mom. The series followed Kail, who was a high school senior at the time, and her boyfriend as they struggled with their teen pregnancy. They lived with Joe's parents, who didn't exactly get along with Kail. The pressure became so much that the couple broke up. Then things got even nastier when Joe discovered that Kail had started dating someone else. He kicked her out of the house, and Kail had to find a new place to live while dealing with a baby. Their relationship has matured with time, however. The two of them have been able to maintain peace and focus on raising Isaac as co-parents. Kail even attended Joe's wedding. The next man to capture Kail's heart was Javi Marroquin. She ended up marrying him and having a baby with him. They named their son Lincoln. Fans watched Kail's new life with Javi and their ups and downs. The couple fought often, and then the unthinkable happened. Kail suffered a miscarriage, but instead of being a supportive husband, Javi blamed her for miscarrying the baby. That put a huge strain on their relationship. When Javi eventually left to tour with the military in the Middle East, Kail decided enough was enough. She filed for divorce and looked for love elsewhere, but she found a toxic relationship instead. The next man to enter her life was Chris Lopez. The two had a stormy relationship, and not even the fans knew exactly what was happening. Kail kept most of the high-strung drama away from the show, despite the tumultuous relationship, they ended up having 2 children together. The first was Lux. During a rough patch, Kail wanted Lux's last name to be changed to Lowry instead of Lopez. Chris didn't like that though and challenged her in court. A petty legal battle ensued, but the judge ultimately changed Lux's surname to Lowry. You'd think that this might have been the end of their relationship, but it wasn't. They stuck together for a little bit longer and even had another child together. They named that child Creed. There's been some recent drama over Creed too. Although the couple finally broke up, Chris refuses to be a mature co-parent like Joe. In 2022, he commented on TikTok Live about how Creed didn't look like his brothers, but he still cared for him. It suggested that he didn't think Creed was his son. While Chris hasn't pursued legal action to have a paternity test scheduled, it's obvious that he likes to stir the pot from time to time. That drama aside, Kail is now with Elijah Scott, and I will say this, there has been some effort in keeping her kids away from the spotlight since she started dating Elijah. The two have a son named Rio. While she hasn't stopped taking pictures, she has kept paparazzi and other media outlets from exploiting him. The experience is unlike what happened when she was on Teen Mom. Her young children were a part of the show because her life revolved around them. With Rio, Kail looks to be trying to put more distance between him and the world of social media. She and Elijah have also recently welcomed twin children together. Now comes the question, will the two ever get married? While Kail is open to the idea, she doesn't want to rush anything. She's spoken previously with People magazine about how she messed up her marriage before. She doesn't want that to happen again. The fact that they just had babies together also plays a factor. She knows the focus should be on the kids rather than a wedding. Kail also wants something to look forward to. If she already has everything at once, then there's nothing new and exciting to look forward to in the relationship. Elijah, on the other hand, seems to be ready for marriage right now. So what do you guys think? Will the two ever walk down the aisle, or is Kail trying to pump the brakes on the relationship that's been traveling at light speed? Either way, she still has a long way to go if she wants to protect her kids from social media. Do you think she's doing enough to protect her children from the internet and fame? Let me know in the comments below.